Look, doesn't it make you feel like you're on the beach? Huh?
This is awesome. This is an awesome theme song.
Oh yeah, we lucked out really hard because an old friend of Dan and mine is Nate. He is a very talented musician. He's in a band called Electric Vibe. So if you like Nate's shit that he made for us listeners, that's his band Electric Vibe. And
check Nate out, guys.
Yeah, he's great. And he was just like, "Do you guys want a theme?" And we're like, "Yeah." So
luckily he is also a big Star Trek guy.
Honestly, he's probably in college what rekindled my desire to rewatch TNG again in college. So, we have a new voice. Hello.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Listen, I'm Morgan J. I saw your podcast on TikTok and I enjoyed it because I wish I could go back and watch Next Generation for the first time.
That's literally why we made this podcast.
Exactly.
I think I first started watching it about 3 or 4 years ago. Like they all became available on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
And then I started with episode 1, which I believe is Farpoint Station. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Encounter at Farpoint. Yep.
Encounter at Farpoint. And I've gone through every series except which is going to be bad, except the original with the original.
I haven't either, actually.
Yeah,
that's interesting. We get a lot of flack for it, actually. There, but at least I do. So,
do you try to get? Wait, have you seen it? Who is that? Marvin? No.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, what's up?
No, but who's the one with the LA hat?
Oh, that's Ricardo.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any of it. No.
Yeah,
Ricardo's our OG newbie.
And then Sarah, me, I haven't seen any of it either.
Well, to get into it, you guys asked me if what episode I wanted to do, and I just picked the bonding because what I thought it was that episode where a boy is found on a ship. I don't want to spoil it, and then the boy starts acting like Data. It's like a similar theme, young people dealing with trauma and death and things like that. Mm-hmm. So then when I watched this again today, I was like, yo, this is heavy, especially for that episode resonates with me too hard. But also there's a lot of really odd and funny things about it. I don't know. And you guys could lead the format if you want, but there's just so many silly things when I watch episodes of Star Trek. I'm like, man,
don't worry. We live for the silly things, Yeah. That's what this place is all about.
Like, I honestly think that once you're like deep enough of a fan of something, you kind of like when I'm rewatching like later seasons, I'm actually like looking at the background and I'm like trying to see if I can catch stupid things.
Well, I forget what series it was. I think it's Deep Space Nine that you see the creator of Family Guy. What's his name?
Oh, Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane is in it for like 2 episodes.
Yeah,
really?
Is he an extra? No.
He has he has 2 or 3 lines in one of them. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of people you see throughout who ended up becoming stars, like just small parts in the series. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like that random episode where Terry Hatcher shows up, and
oh my god, yeah,
yeah, mm-hmm. and like she wanted to actually be uncredited because
did she?
Yeah, because she a lot of her scenes got cut in that episode. So she was like, you know what, just uncredit me, it's fine. But
she had a lot more, to roll. But then in the end, she just became like bed fodder for the Great Okana. What's his actual title? It's not the Great Okana.
It's Okana,
the Big Okana.
What was it? I'm talking about the title of the episode. Never mind.
Oh, I thought
the outrageous Okana.
Outrageous. Yeah, I knew it was alliterative.
Yeah. 69 Okana.
All right. There you go.
That's his Twitter handle.
So this week we watched The Bonding, and it's funny. The week we have a comedian on board, we have the heaviest episode of TNG thus far.
There
might as well have been an abortion episode.
This is like a very special episode of TNG. But yeah, we watched The Bonding. The Bonding aired on October 23rd of 1989. Dan, let's go around the sun. You tell us what happened around that time.
Well, around that time, Janet Jackson was on top of the Billboard charts for the 4th consecutive week with Miss You Much.
Ooh.
The very next day after the previous episode's airing, October 17th, San Francisco had a 6.9 magnitude earthquake.
Oh my god.
Which canceled the 3rd game of that year's World Series, and it sadly killed 67 people.
Ew, shit.
What the
However,
fuck?
there was one notable nice story that came out of that, because there was a survivor named Buck Helm who was found alive after being buried for 4 days after that.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty gnarly.
He has the heart of Kalis in him.
Yeah.
4 days later, Bertram Lee and Peter Bino, an attorney and businessman from Chicago, bought the Denver Nuggets for $65 million, making them the first black owners of a major sports franchise ever.
That feels extremely cheap now.
Yeah.
Extremely cheap and also a little too recent, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the first
For the
time.
black owner, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I meant. October 23rd, on the day of the airing of the episode, Hungary declared its communist rule over and proclaimed itself a republic. Meanwhile, the Atlantis space shuttle returned to the Earth's surface, completing the United States' 62nd manned space mission. And there concludes our trip around the sun this
Oh my
week.
God.
Wow.
Which
That's
one? So which one was the 69th trip to space?
We'll get there.
Curious. All right. Don't forget about that though. I really want to talk about that trip.
I'll try to make sure
wonder
it's
what
in the
happened.
cards.
How old were you guys in '89?
I was two.
I was
no,
one.
I was one. I was going to be 2 in about a month's time from the airing of this episode.
8.
Is
I
that-
was 8. I was 8.
I
oh, wow.
wasn't born yet.
I was 2. I'm 34.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
okay, cool.
All right,
yeah.
you're right around my age.
Yeah, we're all around
Yeah.
the same age. Ricardo's the oldest of us.
Yeah. Yet the least mature. Weird.
But
Very
the only
odd.
one with a child.
That's true.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But maturity
A
level
land
has
of
not-
contrast we are.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well, you know, okay, here's the thing. You know what you have to do when you become a child, or not become a child. What the fuck?
Sometimes you do become a child.
You get a child, you have to start thinking about like security. You have a
Yeah.
kid. And,
You don't want them
know,
cruising the internet.
yeah, and you know it's a great way to not cruise the internet bareback is to use ExpressVPN.
Yeah.
Look, we have a guest this week, so I'm not going to do the spiel that long. But basically,
Look, I'm gonna do the spiel real quick. I bought ExpressVPN.
you did? Oh,
They let you free from the blood contract?
Yeah, dude. I was tied up to. Full disclosure, I was tied up at NordVPN, but look, I don't want to talk shit, dude. But they weren't providing the security that I needed, and ExpressVPN actually works with my router.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
how
you can
that-
put it on your router to make it. Yeah.
And
You
you
know
know
what?
how we've
That
been
is a-
having, we've literally been discussing this bullshit, the shell for
Log4Shell, yeah.
Yeah, what is it? It's like a crazy virus, right, or something, some bullshit.
Yeah, Log4Shell
like-
is basically an exploit in Java that allows
Yeah.
anyone who has Java server tools installed on their computer to people can log in and do all sorts of backdoor shit. It's not great.
And there's only one
Backdoor
kind of
shit.
backdoor thing I like, and that's not Java is not one of them. And so I got ExpressVPN, and I said this will keep me from being exploited. My backdoor. And now I'll only look at backdoor stuff safely, because if I'm looking at backdoor stuff at my work computer, no one's gonna know because I got the fucking VPN. It's not gonna log it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, so if y'all want ExpressVPN, go to expressvpn.com/newbie Star Trek. And if you sign up for 12 months from that link, you get an extra 3 months for free, which is a total of 49% in savings, which is, I think, pretty good.
that's how much I paid.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds pretty good. So
Yeah.
yeah, again, it's expressvpn.com/newbie Star Trek.
ExpressVPN's gonna take away our sponsorship.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much they appreciate the condom analogy, but maybe they
Yeah.
do. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. You know who would appreciate a condom analogy?
Ricardo, could
Oh.
you please tell us what happened in this episode?
Ooh, old Tasha. From the
Although
dead.
actually with Data, I don't know if she would have used.
Wait, there
protection.
was a reference to Tasha in this episode in her death.
Ah,
Indeed.
there
Yes.
was
Yeah,
a
there was.
reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little background, Morgan. Tasha is my favorite character, and I didn't know
Really?
that. I didn't know that she got killed off. So I kept talking about her in the first
Yeah.
few episodes. Like, oh man,
And
I
Dan
can't
and I
wait
were
to
just
see more of
waiting.
this.
We're like, oh god,
Yeah.
there's
That was
episode.
kind of jarring, huh? And
Yeah,
I'm really glad they addressed it. I think it was like season 4 or 5 with that one episode. They'll address it later, but
Okay, because I was very upset. I was upset to know I was.
Oh, you don't know. That's right. Wait, no, you do know.
No, he does. No.
Yeah.
Yep,
I have not
that's
seen it.
correct.
So I was blindsided by this death in the show.
Oh, well.
I took me 2 seasons to recover. I don't know if I'm recovered yet, but Wesley. It takes away
was he still fucking alive?
Yeah, I know. Yes, Wesley takes away from the pain of missing the other character because I'm just so upset at Wesley all the time. And this one was Wesley heavy, guys.
Wesley heavy got to put his chops on there.
Yeah,
not in a bad way. He's actually decent.
Yeah. No. Wesley's still a piece of shit. All right, I'll start off with the beginning, and then everybody chime in when they're ready. So the episode starts off, and they're visiting some midi-chlorians or some bullshit people, and they're dead. These people are dead, and they're just visiting
dead.
like caves.
They're dead. You understand me? They're dead. They're freaking dead. You get what I'm saying?
I wish. Imagine Joe. What kind of alien would Joe Pesci be on this series?
Oh, he'd be one of those. I don't know if they showed up in the series, but they're like these really, really fat, with ugly faces, and they like collect things. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Wasn't that the ones that pretended to be stupid?
Who were like,
yes,
our ship is broken.
That's right.
Yeah.
Those ones. Yeah, that's what only because he could look like them, I feel like.
Yeah, it's true.
How am I funny?
It sounds exactly like that. So they're looking for these people, and then Deanna Troi, again, her powers or whatever her abilities, let's call them, they're not superpowers, right? She was born with them.
Her empathic
either that
powers.
or it's Maybelline.
Yeah, I think it's Maybelline.
Her empathic powers.
Yeah.
Her powers are very spotty. Sometimes she feels things. Sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes she's way off. Sometimes she's not even on the ship. I don't understand this. There's no consistency to it. But so she feels something. She's like, Captain, let's beam these bastards up here. Something's happening. And so they beam them up. And that part's really funny because you think immediately Worf is like, oh, we're being attacked. Beam us up. And then when they beam them up to sickbay, I don't know if you noticed, like Worf comes in and he's kind of hot. Like he's like, oh, okay. He's seen some shit. But the other two characters, you think if like you zap somebody away from danger and then into the infirmary, like they come in like at a 10, like, oh fuck. Oh dude, we almost died. But they're like, they just turn around like, oh man.
They're so calm. Yeah, you're right.
Like nothing happened. Like, and then no one like gave them the direction like, hey guys, you guys are coming in hot, dude. You guys are being shot at. And one of the guys has like blood on his face, and he's just like, he's almost smiling.
It's almost like it's like a normal day at work.
Yeah.
He's like, hey.
Yeah.
So okay, I will just say this as somebody who's been a actor on a TV show with less than 3 lines. When you are somebody with less than 3 lines to no lines, the people that are on, especially for a show like this that shoots every week, at the time they would shoot like 26 episodes, and they'd have to shoot. A shooting schedule for a TV show is so crazy. This is just the reality of it. Yeah. Anybody who's a small actor on those shows, they don't get any notes. They get rarely any direction, and they're usually bad actors. And so all they really have time for is to focus on the leads and their acting. You know what I mean? So those two people, they just didn't go to a good acting school because they probably could have done that shit themselves and figured it out. But they didn't do that. So they were just like, all right, they might have just been like somebody related to the director, and they just needed somebody.
I wonder also if like they're like actually we're trying to act, and they're like, hey idiots, stop moving. We're trying to do the transport effect. Stop moving.
Absolutely. And there's also the transport effect is also a thing where they have to be still. So it'd be hard to hold like a frightened. Because they probably have to hold it for 10 to 20 seconds, I bet.
Yeah,
it's acting 102.
Yeah.
I want to do an acting class just on how the people in Star Trek touch the computers in Next Gen.
Oh my god.
Can you take like a week to do like how to take an impact to the ship?
Oh my god. Well, you know what's funny? In the movies, from what I understand, when they did the movies, they actually built sets where the ship would actually move.
It goes on gimbal.
Yeah, and then on the TV show, they just would have to move, and then they would shake the camera.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, you can definitely tell they didn't have the budget for it because some of the people are just like really overacting.
Yeah, what's great is how varied their responses are.
Yeah.
Like the same G's don't hit everyone.
Absolutely.
Well, some bodies have more mass, right? Like you know?
Sure.
Sure.
You know? In terms like, well, not all humanoids are human, right? Like they're from other planets as well, right?
That's true.
I always think about the gravity on different planets, and they never address that. Like some aliens would deal with, because I like hard
Don't worry,
sci-fi
it's Class M.
also.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Class M, right? It's class. Don't worry about it. It's clear.
Don't worry
Class
about
M. What about the other classes, huh?
Yeah. like no alien comes into the ship and going like, whoa, what is this? What is this artificial gravity?
Yeah.
Never.
You know what I mean?
Never.
No one,
Never.
everyone's like, oh, everything's normal. Click, clack, click,
Yeah.
clack.
Well, you know, they just have to go along with it, right? There's always another planet.
Well,
so.
just like there's universal translators, do you think there's universal gravity translators?
You know, that's
gravity
actually a good
stabilizers?
point, and I think there is something to that. To be honest with you, there might be.
Right? Like it.
Yeah, maybe.
It deciphers where you're from and your your DNA, and it's like, okay, add a few more G's or decibels. What's gravity?
Decibels.
And hey, real quick, Ricardo and Sarah, this is the only Star Trek you've ever seen, or have you seen any other Star Trek?
I've never seen anything else.
I've seen the J.J. Abrams movies.
Okay, yeah, because like if you watch Enterprise, they go into like a lot of, I don't want to say but like how stuff is developed.
Yeah. That's
and
true.
also if you watch, like I'm watching Discovery currently. I don't know if you guys watch Discovery on Paramount Plus.
How have you been enjoying that? I haven't been able. I'll be frank. I couldn't get past the season premiere of season 1.
Oh,
So-
really?
'cause I was
I
like-
personally liked it, and I'm really into time travel. I'm also into parallel universes, and like they deal with that a lot in
Okay.
season 1 and season 2.
Okay.
But you know, it's not for everybody, and Picard is trash. I don't know about you, but Picard is like kind of.
I really
crazy.
wish it wasn't. I forced myself to watch it until the episode where he's on the Romulan planet,
Yeah.
or like the new out, like where they all gathered after the Romulus was destroyed, and like he finds the no human sign and he throws it on the floor. I was like, oh god, I don't.
and I feel like I'm going off on I only say that because for Ricardo and Sarah, like as you watch other series, a lot of stuff, other elements become clear on others. I feel like on other series too. You know what I mean? Like
Some of the
little
science
things are explained.
Like,
Although I think it's kind of like it's interesting to think about that, because those things that are explained so much later are probably the result of so many fans watching TNG and being like, "What? How did that work? Please give an explanation."
So for example, like because I started with TNG and all I thought was like, who's people are fucking on the holodeck.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course, exactly.
Saying that. I've been saying that for months now.
So then I watched Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, and they
it's-
address it.
oh my God,
it's
did they
like
address it?
It's just like made very clear that like people are fucking on the holodeck.
Okay.
Like they don't say like, hey, go fuck on the holodeck, but it's like very clear that the holodecks
Have
are
some
used.
sexy time on the holodeck?
Absolutely.
They say,
All right,
"Hey, you're really wound
acknowledgement.
up tight. Go have 5 on the holodeck."
Absolutely. No, for
Take
real.
5 on the holodeck,
Yeah.
okay?
So let's get back. I don't want to. I keep on a tangent, but if you
Oh,
want
you're
to
fine. No, this is what
Dude,
we
That's
do.
the last thing you should worry about.
Yeah,
Don't worry about
I have been talking about the holodeck sex for months
Yeah.
now.
Bro,
It's
and I
been-
even went to a Reddit and I said something. I'm like, yo, what's up with the holodecks? And they were like, don't worry, it gets addressed. It's pretty clear that people. And there's an episode later on with Geordie LaForge.
I
and
thought you were going to
scientist.
say, "Don't worry about it. Here's some links to Pornhub."
There's a lot of hollow porn, and I'd be happy to
Oh my God.
be happy
You know
to show you the
what?
hollow porn.
Yeah.
So
There's got to be a
This
market
ain't-
for that. There's
Absolutely.
got to be a market.
Yeah.
it. It's called VR. Yeah, VR
it
headsets.
really is called VR. It is called VR.
There's got to be some good ones with like data, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe.
man.
Yeah.
So also Data and
hard.
wait, did they talk about how Data and Tasha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's already happened. I
Yeah.
mean, we've talked about it extensively.
Yeah, extensively.
Oh, you
Yeah.
have. Okay, my bad.
No,
my bad.
no. Keep. If
No,
you
what
got
was your-
something
what was
to
your
contribute,
thought?
what was your
What was
take
your
on it?
thought?
No, I mean, you guys probably talked about it. He's a fucking machine. He's a sex machine. He's not just a machine. He's a sex machine. You know,
He's
yeah.
like a Terminator sent through time to
you know.
bang people, humans.
Do you guys swear on this cast or am I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You-
please,
as much as
please
you
go
could.
for it. Please
I-
go. Yeah, we're marked explicit, so we're
Yeah.
fine.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you're-
What's the next scene? What's the next scene coming up?
So the next scene
At
is
this rate, we're gonna finish in 8 hours.
No, yeah, this is gonna be a 2-hour episode. So the lady, they come in and one lady's dead, dude. She's dead. Her eyes like half.
Okay,
She's
but this
dead.
is the first death this season. This was actually really shocking for me. Like I
Is
was
the
actually
first death?
really. Is it this season? This like that we see on
I actually
screen?
don't think well, maybe on screen. I think there have been deaths before.
Like no, that's part of the crew though.
In the last episode,
someone died. Yeah,
they made him watch. Yeah, they made somebody watch.
Picard made her watch.
Yeah.
Oh right.
So that happened.
She's all, we die like you die. Look at this. I'm not a god. But before I go on, I forget.
That's true.
Morgan, let me pitch you this, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remake. If I were to remake the Next Generation, Picard, Jason Statham, dude.
I don't know.
It's rated R, and he just says, "Oh, fuck you, mate," a lot.
Oh, okay. I see.
There would be a tonal shift involved. But
it would be a very big tonal shift. It would become like an action series for sure.
It could be like the Transporter meets TNG. You know,
they already transport.
Do you guys, Ricardo and Sarah? Do you guys respect how Patrick Stewart brings like Shakespearean acting to the series while everyone around him?
Oh yes, I mean he's very regal, and I love it.
It's incredible.
I love it.
I think if that's why it works a lot of the time, especially because the other casts are like, "Oh, this guy's taking it way too seriously." Okay, well, we got to do that. We got to keep up, or else I don't think it would work.
Oh my god, there's just so much good acting he does later on in the series. It's like
number one.
There's just so much. I'm just thinking about. I mean, there's just so much good acting.
The lights, right? And then,
oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, I do want him to get a little bit more tender. Honestly, like
he will.
He's very like robotic.
Oh my god, you're not ready for season 5.
Okay.
The inner light. There's just so many good episodes.
I'm glad that you're here and hyping all of this up because we have had a couple of peaks, and for instance, in season 2. Marvin, we went over Marvin's like personal favorite episode, Measure of a Man.
We're no man,
which is admittedly a very high point, but it, given Marvin's opinion of it, it almost feels like, well, now the show's downhill from here, but it's not.
No, there's not.
Oh, there's so many good episodes.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
I wrote a list every time I try to get friends in it. I'm just like, because they're mostly episodic for the most part. It was like
that's true. Yeah.
It's like you just watch some of these out of order. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. We're just emulating air date order for the purposes of Ricardo. Like,
are there funny moments with him? Like, does he turn on the comedy at all? Or is he?
There's
just
moments
more,
that's
like,
situationally
emotional?
funny. With
him.
Okay. Yeah. There's never like laugh out loud. I don't.
Well, the Luxana stuff when she's giving him a hard time is pretty funny.
I think honestly, the person who has the funniest moments in all of the series is Worf.
Really?
Yes.
It's just as you watch the series, you're like, Worf is a ridiculous character.
Yeah.
And it just Klingons are ridiculous. I mean, even in this episode, you know what I mean? We'll talk about that. He's like, I want this. They become brothers, and it's like. Imagine you're 12 and your mom dies, and all of a sudden some alien is like, "Be my brother, be my brother." You're like, dude, I just want to play video games. I'm sad right now.
Let me process this.
I just want to play with my cat Patches.
Wasn't her death your fault?
Yeah, that's the weird part. So what happens is this lady's dead. And they have to go tell. So they look up, they look up on their iPads that this kid has already lost his dad. This guy's an orphan now. Lost his mom. She's dead too now.
He's a loser.
Kid's a loser. Yeah, he's a hard luck case.
Kid's a loser, dude.
Yeah.
Santa's not coming for him this
year.
year.
A loser.
No siblings, no aunts, and he's an. By the way, what do they do with these kids that have no family now? Is there an orphanage on board?
Well, I'm sure even if not, they could just go back to Earth, and everything's solved on
drop
Earth.
Them off.
Everything's chill.
He had an
on Earth
aunt
now.
and uncle on Earth who I'm sure would be very put out by his arrival.
Yeah,
Who wants to go back to Earth though? No.
Earth
is no one does. No one.
You could literally transport to France or like anywhere on Earth.
That's
you
true.
Know what I'm saying?
Like that.
Air
their version of
done.
Earth is amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
We haven't
travel
visited
is
Earth,
done.
so I'm curious to see what that's like. So
wait,
this
climate change hasn't wreaked havoc on Earth at this point?
No, they fixed it.
2022
or in 20.
They had a third world war and had all the other shit, horrible shit happened, and then they were like, we need to get our shit together.
They built those tunnels under France, right under the Eiffel Tower. So they have to go tell this kid Jeremy, and he's already thinking of a song he's gonna make when he gets older. And he joins Pearl Jam, and so he's like, "Oh fuck, dude, I have to go tell this kid that his mom died. He's a hard luck case." And Worf's like, "Oh, I must go tell him as well. I was under command when she died." And he's like, "Nah, just sit down, dude. You're hurt, dude. You're out of your element, dude. Sit down." And they send Troy and old Picard to go tell him. And then there's this weird scene where Riker's like, "Hey Wesley, your dad's dead." This other kid they're like, there's this other kid who's his parents are dead. You should go talk to him, dude, because you have no dad. And it's really weird, like how like they're really pressuring him to go talk. It's like, and
can I tell you something? I don't think it's that weird. As somebody whose dad is dead.
Oh boy.
You know what, dude? As somebody whose dad is dead at the young age of 6, just like Wesley, this is not a joke, but I've gone to therapy and stuff.
Okay.
You can help people. You can talk to them. There's actually a friend of mine. She's a comedian with a podcast called Dead Dads Club, and it's basically people with dead dads.
Gosh.
Oh wow.
Yeah, well, you know how comics are. We're weirdos, you know.
That's actually a really good perspective that helps me
but let me ask you this: like, were you ever like? Was anybody ever like this? Like, oh, hey, this person just lost their parent. Go talk to him.
No, well, I remember there was a girl in my school. Her mom had died of cancer, and I like reached out to her. This was like probably middle school. I was like, hey, you know, my dad's dead.
But that was of your own volition, right?
No. I was just like, hey, if you want to talk about it, you know, I've been through this. You know, we could talk about it or whatever. I don't know. So,
but Wesley doesn't really
really
seem
cool and
like
sweet of you. But I think that was your decision,
like
though, right?
He wants to, though.
Yeah. That was my decision.
But no one was like, hey, you can relate to this person. Your dad's dead. Go talk to him. Like, no one was forcing you to go talk to somebody, right? Like, it was just, you volunteered. Well, you volunteered for this mission. Well, as a person who doesn't know their biological father, I'd say that I'm in a better situation just because at least I didn't have him. You know what I mean? I was like, well, he's not around. Period.
Are you? He just wasn't around?
I never met him. He was just never in like,
okay.
So I'd say like, at least he wasn't there for me. And then I was like, there's nothing to miss. You know what I mean? Totally. Right?
Quick, who am I?
Scott Summers.
Sorry, I just tuned out when Ricardo started talking about his father that abandoned him. So, no, just so you guys know, as this is like par for the course doing comedy, we all go hard at each other.
Dude.
Oh no, please.
So I don't know. You know, some people are more sensitive than others.
No one's sensitive here, dude. I've said horrible things about.
You should.
I just met Ricardo. I'm like, sorry, I don't really care. I only care when I'm talking about my dead dad and nobody else's trauma. Everybody else's trauma could suck a dick.
So they tell this kid, they're like, hey, well, not this kid. They tell stupid fucking Wesley, dude, who, damn it, dude. They've been in peril this whole goddamn season a few times where they had to like evade people and they let the fucking ensign fucking drive the ship, dude. That's bullshit, dude. I've been saying it for how many episodes, dude. So they go talk to this kid and immediately I recognize this kid. I'm like, I know this guy. This guy's a piece of shit, dude. This guy is a kid from fucking Robocop 2 who was selling fucking drugs, dude.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
He's selling the nuke. Yeah.
And he's a fucking piece of shit, dude. Yeah. I'm glad his fucking mom's dead, dude. That's the prequel to this. That's why he becomes a drug dealer, dude.
He has the same fucking hair too.
Same hair, dude. Yeah. Same hair.
Yeah. That's why it was so familiar. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this guy's like, he's like, what? My fucking mom died, and he's like, do you understand? Picard's trying to like soften the blow, but he's like, fuck. Not again, dude. I just lost my dad and now my mom. And Patches is gone. He doesn't even have this cat, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's so crazy is they just tell him this. They tell him, hey, your mom's gone. All right, see you later. And they leave him alone. There's no like social worker that shows up or like some sort of teacher or nurse that's like, hey, we don't want to leave you alone, dude.
He's
We're going to be here.
completely alone in his apartment.
Well, okay. What the kid says is like, I'm alone. And then Ricard just goes like, hey, on the Enterprise, you're never alone.
Yeah.
Commercial break and everything's fine.
Anyway, we got to
go. No, because I guess the computer's there. I guess I wonder if they ever elaborate on like if you could actually talk to the computer legit, you know?
I'll have a conversation.
Have you guys ever talked about, and we're going on a tangent again, about how nobody predicted social media or the internet, and like there's none of that exists on spaceships anywhere.
That's so true. I never thought about that.
It's such a rare thing for sci-fi to predict is the rise of social media from back. Like there's only like a few pieces of media I've known of that actually managed to like randomly, like the Earth Siege / Star Siege series randomly was like, yeah, we're gonna have message boards and social media and like Twitter essentially. But like it's a very rare thing because who would know of. I guess people assume the future might either just get more dystopian or more like nice. Not in the
Black
middle.
Mirror is kind of hitting all the things on the head.
Yeah. Well, now,
it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. I hope we get to the pig fucking.
Dude, the president will fuck a pig at some point.
Yeah, I thought we were close.
It's only a matter of time.
I thought like 2 years ago we were goddamn close, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, Russia's got that P tape. He's gonna fuck a pig, dude.
Yeah.
So anyway, look, this episode's really heavy, but then we never get any straight fucking answers about these goddamn aliens, dude. So what starts happening is that these aliens are like, oh fuck, we killed this guy's mom. Let's go help him, and like let's go bring him in. But I don't understand what the aliens. What the fuck are they trying to do?
That was super weird. I agree with you because like at the end of the episode, we'll get to the scene. Is like the final scene when they're all the alien and like 3 people are in the room. Like Wesley's there, Picard's there, Worf is there, the child's there. They're having a full like family therapy session. The alien is just like, tell me more.
Yeah. And don't you feel like the alien was like, oh, you guys are fucked up, I'm out?
It felt more like my work here is done, and they didn't do just fucking anything.
Because in a lot of episodes, like the aliens need the bodies or the souls, or there's like a reason they need it. This was just like, I just want to have a child that I don't know. Like I don't understand. There's no. I
guess it just felt bad. That's the only thing.
That really doesn't get explained at all.
Yeah, it really was just feeling bad because it's like we're gonna make him happy. It's like, oh, that's not good. I
think there's some episodes in Next Gen and a lot of the early Star Trek series where they explore like a theme more than a story. There's a lot. I feel like there's a fair amount of episodes, which makes it so great. But there's also like some stuff doesn't really add up.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those. This is like exploring grief and loss. And,
it makes for good moments, but I think the moments out of isolation look really doesn't quite mesh. Like the when the mom shows up while he's looking at the tablet, that's legitimately like kind of startling, when that happens. And you're like, oh, what the hell's going on?
What I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about if it's 80, let's say it's 1989 and you're like, you sit around the TV to watch Star Trek with your family, as people probably did. And then like your mom died like the week before, and then there's a new episode of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a new episode of Star Trek, Dad. At least we have that. And then this shit comes on. And it's like,
boy.
God.
Yeah. Oh,
that most assuredly happened to someone.
Oh, that had to have happened.
If that happened to you, email us at.
We'd like to talk to you.
We would like to talk to you.
Yeah, that's
it's really heavy. Again, it's exploring themes, but they never clear up some things. Like, so, okay, maybe sometimes I think I'm not paying attention enough, or like I miss something, but then I rewatch it. I'm like, no, they didn't explain the shit about this. So tell me this. Okay, so the alien had a booby trap, and it went off on that lady's face. She's dead, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And now the alien feels bad, but why didn't the alien, if these things were deactivated, why was that thing still active?
Maybe they fucked up and missed it. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. But the way I took it is that after it fucked that lady up, the energy beings were like, "Oh shit, they're still good. They're still fucking there. We better go disarm them." And so they did. And that's why their way team found the rest of them deactivated recently.
That makes sense. Sure, that makes sense.
That makes sense. They're like, Tim, you piece of shit. You didn't deactivate him. You told us you did. And he's like, fuck, I forgot, guys.
Yeah,
we had another fucking
I didn't know
loss.
there'd be fucking humans coming around. What the fuck?
Now, we're not sure. Are these multiple light beams, or is it one light beam? Because the lady's there as the light beam's coming in and like kind of attacking everybody. So that's a second beam.
Yeah.
You mean the ghost that's on the ship?
Which, by the way, is par for the course if you're on a spaceship. There's energy beings always. Never at every corner.
Yeah.
Sometimes they impregnate someone.
This was a straight up ghost.
Sometimes they have sex with you.
This was a scary episode. It was Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
I felt like an episode of Twilight Zone when she appeared behind that really scary shot where the kids and then you just see the shadow of like the mom peeking around the corner, or like the like fuzzy outline of her, blurry outline.
I mean, Jeremy looks like a kid from like the 60s.
Yeah.
Like, supplanted into the 80s there.
Yeah. It's like the ghost of that guy that made that song.
Yeah.
So then Worf's like, hey, I'm fucking pissed, dude. I killed this fucking lady accidentally because I wasn't fucking paying attention. He should have been the point man, being like, hey, don't touch that shit. It's a booby trap. He's a security guy.
Right.
Why are you letting people just fucking pick up shit, dude? I don't understand.
I blame they said specifically that it was a type of technology that wasn't detectable by tricorder. And so that implies to me an over-reliance on tricorders. People forgot how to do some
sweeps,
manual. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got to rely on that tech a little too much.
But what was she doing? Was she just kicking the fucking ground? She's like, let's see what's in here. What was she doing? And then Worf's like, I'm mad, and I asked that I be bonded with the child. And I'm not thinking, what the fuck is he doing, dude? I thought he was gonna adopt the kid for a while. I didn't know what the bonding meant. There's so many goddamn what's Worf? What class of Klingon. There's so many Klingon
rituals
that you're like, what the fuck is this one now?
Well, I just feel like they make them up as the series goes on.
Like early on in this episode, they're like, oh, it's the rite of passage where we just fucking insult him and spit on him and then just whip him.
Yeah, right. No, there's that one too. I was about to reference that one. Like, what the fuck?
It's like a weird S&M one because they're like, oh, you're a piece of shit, dude.
And then he thanks them at the end.
Yeah, you have a little dick.
Klingon sex is like that, though.
Yeah. Well, they showed his lady friend the Tapatio hot hand, where she put Tapatio in her hand and she squeezed it, and then they had sex, and then he's like, "Well, I gotta marry you now." But they have weird morals because they're like, oh, "I slept with you once, now I must do the honorable thing and marry you."
Yeah. He's what you call he's like a Klingon nerd. I feel like
Yeah.
You think he's like
he's the guy who he's like kind of like me, I guess. I didn't grow up properly with Korean culture, and now I'm kind of catching up. Well, I'm not as deep into it. I don't go, oh my god, I gotta eat this the correct way or shit. but he's like the guy who didn't grow up with Klingons, but he wants to be part of the Klingon culture.
Rediscovering his culture.
Yeah, so he's getting really into it, and it's the Klingons are they just don't make sense as a concept. Why would?
Yeah, because honor. It's just so hard to build a whole society around that one.
I like to fight. It's hard to build a society around just fighting.
Warrior culture.
You gotta do other things.
You know what though? One could argue that I was a classics minor in college, and I did one of my papers on the Spartans, and the Spartans were hardcore as fuck. You know what they did with babies that had deformities or issues?
Oh yeah.
They literally put them in a basket and threw them in the ocean.
Oh my God.
Because they wanted a society devoid of they wanted the strongest of them.
Wow.
Right.
So I guess they're the closest thing you could probably equate to Klingons or Spartans. They were all about warring.
I think the
fighting.
most baffling thing about Klingons in general is their longevity. Because a society, just because they've been around this long, it's like a society that is all around dying gloriously in battle.
True.
Doesn't seem like it's bound to live for very long, but yet here they are all the time.
I guess they just procreate really fast.
Life finds a way. Also, they haven't. This has not been made clear to you yet, but you will learn in an episode that Klingons have 2 of every organ in their body.
Also 2 dicks, dude?
What the fuck?
Well, that's the other thing. You should bring me back. I would love to be back for that episode because I had so many questions about that one.
But
yeah, apparently they have backup organs and body parts.
Wow.
Do you know the episode?
I know what we're waiting for. That's one of my favorite moments. Yeah.
Okay.
That episode has one of my favorite moments.
We'll have to bring Morgan for that. Morgan, if you were any character on the show, what character would you be, you think?
I'd probably be Data because I have no heart and it's hard for me to feel emotion, as my girlfriend will tell you.
Okay.
It's
ice cold.
You're probably fully functional. I'm also.
I mean, are you talking about his dick? We don't know that. You could have some dicks. I don't know.
I just met you, bro. Talking about my dick, we could talk about our dead dads or absentee fathers. But no, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah,
let's keep it light, fellas.
Let's keep it light. What's the next scene?
So Worf is like, I gotta bond with this fucking kid and show him my rituals. And it's scary when Worf says rituals because you don't know what he's gonna spit on this kid. He's gonna slap him.
So true.
You don't know what the fuck it's gonna be.
So she's like, let's wait. Let's not, because you might push him and Deanna makes up some bullshit fucking story. She's like, hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry. And so this kid's on his iPad. They predicted that. Kid's on an iPad.
Yeah, they did predict
and
that.
he's looking at videos, which, you know what? I've never on my iPad looking at photos ever. I'm never like, oh, I'm going to scroll through my fucking photos. Never. It's always porn or, Twitter or something like that.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah. So this kid that goes on to make drugs he's looking at this, and then the mom fucking shows up. Worf shows up first. He's looking at pictures of his mom and like videos of the cat. It's very interesting how
and he's like, I killed your mom.
Yeah. Worf sounds a lot like
with me now.
Yeah. Do you want to bond? And I still don't know what that means. Like, I get it. Like,
Blood
he's
bond.
like, oh, we're brothers now. But I don't know. With Worf, you can never tell what's what, dude. And Worf shows up.
I mean,
and
his bar mitzvah was him being shocked by pain sticks. So you don't know what he's going to do to this child.
Yeah. So he shows up and he's like, hey, it's tradition that we grieve a body, and this is how we grieve. And he's like kind of telling this kid how to grieve, but this kid's like, I just want to look at pictures of my mom and like not fucking think about your bullshit, dude. Yeah. And he's Worf's kind of like trying to get him to be like, hey, turn that grief into fucking rage, dude, and join me, dude. He's like a weird like Palpatine. And Deanna Troi goes to old fucking Luke Picard, and he's like, hey, this kid's really, it really bums me out that no one's with him, that he's looking at these videos alone.
I like how he says it, how she goes like, so the kid's doing this, yada yada yada. Worf is being weird though.
Yeah.
She like says it at the end. She's like,
very specifically.
Like, so this happened X, Y, and Z, but Worf is kind of like exactly what you're saying. Worf is kind of like trying to bond with them, and then Picard's like, I know. He's like, I know that ritual. I know that one. All right, I'll talk to you.
He's tried it on me, and I had to decline. And
he's always asking one of us to do some ritual with him.
He's
true. Like, be my lawyer. Be this guy. You're like, dude.
That's literally true.
He's literally asking all the time. He's like, yo, kill me.
I almost accused him of doing the tea ceremony with Pulaski, but that was Pulaski's initiation.
I thought for a while, because Pulaski just leaves out of nowhere. I thought he killed her. Like he gave her tea that poisoned her, and like a couple episodes later, she just fucking died. But anyway, so
don't worry, she drank antidote first.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So now here's the thing about Wesley. And Morgan, don't spoil anything, but here's my theory, all right?
Yeah.
My theory is that Picard actually killed his dad, Wesley's dad, because he was fucking Beverly. And he made it look like an accident, and now he feels guilty. That's why this kid's always around, and that's why this fucking war criminal known as Wesley is always getting fucking passes, dude. He tried to kill the crew like 30 times. He's constantly fucking up, and he always gets free passes.
Okay.
Is my theory sound?
I'm not gonna tell you. Tell me not to spoil it.
Okay.
You can't be like, hey, don't spoil it for me. But
I know.
Is it right?
I was trying to read your face to be like,
I think you're right.
Right? At least Sarah's got my back.
I think you're right. It makes
as
sense.
theories go, I think that's one of the dumbest theories I've ever heard. I'm just kidding.
Well, that might make it crazy enough to work.
With all these crazy storylines, I wouldn't put it outside the norm of this. So they go and they're looking for more stuff on the planet, which is bullshit because they never solve anything about the planet. They never know what these energy people are. By the way, these energy beings can make holograms and people.
Oh yeah. You think they want to know about that, huh? You think they want to know about? Yeah.
Who addresses it?
They're sentient holodecks.
That's some low key shit.
Yeah, they can create like whole. They created the whole recreation of Earth and everything, and
a person,
the room, and like a living, breathing person,
and a fucking cat.
And fucking Patches, which was the most adorable.
It wasn't just
cat.
any cat named Patches; it was a fucking calico.
No, that's right. Now, what are they doing? Are they cloning? What's happening, dude? No one's.
I think it's like Dan saying it's like a holodecky thing. I think
they're
it's
like extrapolating thing off of the video file on the iPad.
Yeah,
but is this a real cat? Because he's all about Patches. This kid.
Yeah, and Patches is so adorable.
I think the cat might just be like a construction, but I think the mom construct seems to be the alien.
Okay,
it seems to be the being itself.
Hold on. I'm gonna propose something, and you guys this I think you could spoil because I would really need to know the answer. Now, if you go in the holodeck, right? And I imagine like a scenario, it's like a romantic scenario, and I fuck a chick, no condom, right? She gets pregnant, and I stay in the holodeck for 9 months. Is there a real baby that comes out, or does it disappear?
No, you'd have to program it in. You have to put those parameters in. Programs like with the holodeck, as far as I know, it's like the programs can be altered or changed, or like the length of the program, or certain things can be, because like in Deep Space Nine, they go hardcore into some of the holodecks,
But yeah, they do get really specific.
But here, the holodecks have tried to kill them a few times. That wasn't programmed. I think that wasn't programmed.
What happened was the holodeck took their command too literally. Took Geordi's command very literally. They were like, find something that can beat Data.
Was this the Moriarty one?
Yeah, the Moriarty.
That's Moriarty as an example.
And the Dixon Hill or whatever. The dude tried to
that was just some sort of.
They shot a guy.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something with the episodes that take place in the holodecks, like those ones? Sometimes I like fast forward through. I fast forward through those episodes.
I don't blame you.
I'm just sort of like, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing here?
I remember rolling my eyes and thinking, great, Brent Spiner didn't want to be Data again.
I know.
Yeah.
The funny part is like the crew thought those were their favorite episodes. Like for season 2, they spent the most money on the Moriarty episode.
They were just desperate to not be in Star Trek. That's all.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys a question about the holodeck that you might have already spoke about on the podcast?
Oh no, please go ahead.
Let's say you fucking a hologram,
yes,
and then you bust a nut.
Okay.
And then you go end program. Like, does the cum disappear, or does it just like fall on the floor?
Dude,
I can only imagine.
I feel like we're thinking the same thoughts, dude. I feel like
you know what I'm saying?
We should
at that point it feels like a fall on the floor scenario.
You know what I mean?
I think it stays, and you have to live with the shame of an embarrassment.
Everything gets replicated, like the fluids, the moisture, the wetness,
it goes away, and then you're just left with yourself.
Viscosity. And the cum just falls. I feel like the cum just falls, right?
I just think like with this holodeck situation, like nothing would ever get done in space. No exploration would ever get done. You just spend time, and everybody would have their own holodeck.
That's what I was just discussing this. I was discussing this maybe last episode. How many holodecks are there? Because there can't be enough time in the fucking day to fill all these slots for all these people that just want to fuck, dude. Yeah. The holodecks are fucking and killing.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all that. No, I agree with you.
They're Westworlds.
Yeah.
Each one is a mini Westworld. I believe we established. We did some research and found there were 16 on the Enterprise.
Yeah, the Enterprise has 16. Yeah, it's just not enough.
It's like you're trying to tell me you're gonna book the holodeck for 2 hours and stare at the sunset or go hiking and some. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
No.
You're gonna set the program to be like, I want a fucking alien in the sky, like flying through space or some shit.
Well, even the Nissan ones start like that. Like they're like, I want to be. It's
real
sunset.
Quick, Sarah, is that what you would do? Because we're 4 guys talking about having sex in the holodeck. I don't know if it's the same for a gal.
No, I would just be like, put me in a room with kittens and puppies. And
Sure.
And then it turns really fast. Yeah, that's how it would start for me. Like, all right, I want to be like in Paris, just walking the streets, and then like 5 minutes in, it's like, and fucking a whore.
Well, like what I said. Remember, we had a question from an email. They were like, okay, what would you do in a holodeck? And I said, legitimately, when I was younger, I fantasized that the holodeck would be a perfect way to build film sets and shoot films really quickly.
Oh yeah,
because I thought it'd be like, oh, this is perfect. You just no cost, right? Yeah. But I can't deny that probably at some point,
5 minutes into your movie, you'd be like, let's 5 for lunch, guys. 5 for lunch.
I was going to say that like real quick into it. You were like, you know what? I don't think I want to make films anymore.
I do want to make films, but a different kind.
I think I just want to have sex.
I think it would degrade very quickly with any person.
Every holodeck, parameter ends at 5 minutes and just spirals into sex.
Eventually, like the sexual programs would get so insane because you literally you can do anything.
Yeah. They get quite elaborate, probably.
Yeah. Probably get
it's Megan Fox, but all her fingers are toe fingers.
Do you guys? Did you guys read? I mean, that sounds hot. No, did you guys read? Just kidding. Did you guys read Ready Player One?
Yeah,
I've never read it yet. I
Okay.
think Ricardo did. Yeah.
So I don't know if you read Ready Player 2. Did you read that one?
I didn't. Did they go into the sex? Because that's what I was thinking the whole time I was reading.
Yeah. So Ready Player 2 took it a step further where they have this new device. I don't want to spoil it for you because the book was kind of like, it wasn't that good. I just like skimmed forward.
I'm not going to read it, so spoil it.
So basically there's this new thing called like an Omni headset where basically it taps into your brain and you can experience anything, like, and your body tastes and feels, and all you have to do is just sit there and just like kind of like in Demolition Man. Remember Demolition Man where dude. When they have sex, but it's like through this headset.
The wild mambo.
But basically, like, all right, I'll give you an example. With this Omni headset, I could wear it while having sex with somebody, record my experience of it, and then you could buy the recording, and then you can do it. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, that absolutely.
Okay.
So then it's
you could buy other people's fantasies.
Essentially, so I don't know where I was going with this.
Well,
basically, every device ends up being used to kill people or to have sex.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So what's the next scene?
So the next scene is old Wesley goes to his mom and he's like, hey, they told me to talk to Jeremy and possibly form a band and make a fucking song. But I'm kind of sad about my dad. And do you think about dad all the time? And she's like, yeah, sometimes I can't stop thinking about him. And there's like a nice moment, but I've said it before. I've gone on record. I don't like Beverly. She's a deadbeat mom. When they were dying, she chose to hold fucking Picard's hand instead of going to hold her child when they were dying in episode 1.
What did you think about the other doctor in season 2?
I didn't like her at first, but then I really liked her because she was like, she didn't like date at first, but then they became really good friends. And like, by the time she left season 2, I had already become too attached to her. And now I'm upset that Beverly's back because I always thought Beverly she's a bad doctor. More people have died under Beverly's like care than Pulaski ever. Pulaski never really like lost people, but Beverly.
I mean, the last episode was all her fault. So.
Yes, yes, dude.
The fuck, man.
She keeps losing people, and then I thought, well, as punishment, they sent her off. Like they're like, "Fuck you, you're a horrible doctor and a horrible mom," and they send her off. And I'm like, well, Wesley at least will get raised by not deadbeat moms.
Actually. Hold on. Canonically, what's the explanation for her being back? Because she was chair, head of medical at Starfleet.
She was horrible. Season 2. Probably she got let go.
So she's just like demoted, busted back down, and like
canonically she just quit.
Flagship doctor.
I think canonically she quit because she didn't like teaching. She liked practicing, so that was why.
Oh boy.
Yeah. and then we find out that Picard actually was the one to go and tell Wesley that his dad was dead.
Right.
And then this explains a lot. But then it doesn't, because you're like, Wesley's always sucking up to Picard. Like, wouldn't you hate that dude? Like, fuck this guy, dude.
No, but sometimes when a guy alphas you so hard by killing your dad, you just like want to be his best friend. you just start simping super hard. You're like, fuck, dude. I don't, I want him to be my friend, dude. Man, I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Emotionally, that all
somewhere.
connects.
Yeah.
So this hologram keeps fucking with this kid and like telling him, hey, come with me, we're gonna live happily ever after on this planet. But there's goddamn live mines everywhere. They're gonna kill this kid right away, dude. And it wants to use this being can't just suck up the kid and take him to the planet. It's got to use the hull.
Because he's like a corporeal.
Yeah.
The alien's like energy and the kid's not.
Yeah.
Right.
But it would have been interesting if the alien tried to suck him up and then like he got stuck on a wall or something. So they go to the transporter room and the kid's like, oh, don't take me away from my mom, and he's all fucking sad. So like another moment of sadness that he has to experience is that he's got to be taken away from his mom
this kid's
again.
Gonna get really fucked up.
Yeah.
Man.
This kid's gonna have problems, dude.
So much. I always think about how much trauma all of the people on the ship have, like Picard and specifically, like as you watch the series. This dude goes through so much, and he's like, "Yeah, I still want to be a captain."
Yeah,
like you're gonna see, like the guy goes, he literally lives like a full other lifetime. Like legit, you're gonna see all this shit. And you're like, I don't understand how he can go through so much.
It's why at the beginning of Picard, I kind of understand why he's in that spot. I'm like, yes, you're fine. Just retire.
Yeah.
You're on your
You've
vineyard.
earned time on the winery.
Yeah, just relax.
Yeah.
I also understand why Riker's like, where they were like, hey, you'll have your own command. He's like, nah, dude. Not if I experience half the shit that Picard does.
Yeah, this
nah,
is
I'm good,
stressful as hell.
Yeah. So Deanna Troi shows up and they realize that this alien's being sketchy, that it made a hologram in that room, that it can make fucking cats. I don't know if it can make dogs, but definitely cats. And they're trying to see how they can get the fucking alien to go away, basically. They don't want them to take the kid.
Yeah, they don't want to provoke it, right? Because Picard gives the direction not to because like there's so many times where they could have just ripped the kid away and been like, get the fuck away from this thing. And they're so delicate.
Why don't they just fucking leave? Did anybody try that? To just be like, let's just drive off, and the Wi-Fi will like eventually break free.
That's true. Oh my god!
Actually, that's true. Yeah,
it's a huge loophole.
They can't have unlimited range, right?
Yeah. There's like other episodes where they're like, if we just get out of range of the planet, they won't be able to see us or hear us. Like, there's plenty of examples of them like doing that. You know?
Yeah.
But they don't hear. They're like, well, all right, I guess we're stuck here till we figure this alien out. But no one's like, let's just put it in reverse and just slow it back out until the Wi-Fi range is gone.
Yeah.
Mm.
But anyway, so what they do try is like, hey, we'll turn off the power, and that's how we'll get it. We'll reboot the modem. And they do it, and then the planet shoots its load up to the ship, and now there's like 2 energy beings. One of them's like not really hurting anybody. It's just swirling around and kind of creating havoc. But no, it's not killing anybody or anything. It's not I don't know if it's really trying to hurt anybody.
I actually have a question. Are the ghost figures popping around the ship, are those other aliens, or is that the same alien that's creating the projection of like the mom, or are they all the same, or are those different entities?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like
I feel like it's open to interpretation because the mom character or the imposter mom character continuously she says "we" a bunch, doesn't she?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. So it could be.
It could be separate entities, or it could be one of those like hive mind things.
Yeah, collective intelligence, maybe. You know. So,
but they never explain. They never explain it.
No,
they don't.
They're energy ghost electric things.
And there's no time. This kid's sad.
I did enjoy seeing it. I did enjoy. That was the first time I kind of seen something ghost-like bouncing around the ship, which was
Sarah loves ghosts.
Yes, I'm a big believer in ghosts, and you know.
Well, you missed the child, so that was like the very first thing that happened this season, actually.
Yeah,
that was season 2.
Oh, that's season 2. Oh, okay. Oh, whoops, my bad.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about when they write these shows and just like the amount of writing. And I don't know if you saw the documentary on Deep Space Nine. They did this whole documentary, and then you see them like going through the writers like potentially writing another episode of the show, and you see these 5 people in a room, and they're kind of talking about it the way we're kind of talking about, like, what if we just like do that? And they're very kind of chill about it, you know, because I guess they just assume their audience is like, yeah, we'll have them do that, and that's cool. And then the space thing will happen. You know, in some scripts, actually, I don't know if in some scripts that are like procedurals, that whether it's like a NCIS or a sci-fi thing, sometimes when they have science jargon they have to say, they just write science. Yeah, no, I'm serious. And then later on, like they'll figure it out later.
They bring a consultant in who was like, what are they supposed to say?
So
basically they get a Geordie to come up with Geordie shit.
My brother does that for medical shows.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
So like medical or science. Yeah.
He's a doctor in like the ER, like a PA, and so in LA. So there's a lot of people that shoot in his hospital, and they'll employ him to write the medical jargon that would be correct.
I actually didn't know that. That's great.
It's the whole thing. Science. Also, fun thing about I saw an interview with Chief O'Brien because he was in Deep Space Nine.
Oh, yeah,
he said he would have to say lines that he had a tough time with lines, so he would turn away. This is what he said. He said sometimes when the line was too tough, I would like turn away from the camera or look down, so that way if they didn't catch my lips saying it, I could do it. I could do it later.
You could just dub it.
Okay.
I think he just dub it over later.
ADR for himself.
Yeah, just ADR it.
Oh, he's thinking. He was in the game long enough that he's just like, you know what?
He knows smarter,
not harder.
Yeah, if I cover my mouth while I scratch my nose, then I could just say it afterwards. And
Atlanta Falcons.
If he grew a long enough mustache, it would cover his lips, and then he wouldn't have to worry about it. So then they're trying to figure out how to get this alien off the ship, dude. And they figure this out, which is weird. that they contain it to certain hallways by putting like a force field. But how?
I think it's primarily from the boy, because the boy can't go through and the alien's trying to
I don't think so, Marvin. I actually disagree with you.
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
Marvin,
what I thought.
Marvin,
Yeah.
I think you're fucking stupid.
I think you're fucking full of it. You're fucking full of it.
Because the alien,
The consensus is then
because there's no moment where like there's a like the Terminator 2 moment where like he crosses and then like he gets stuck.
Yeah,
the alien
exactly.
is like, oh, the boy's stuck in the force field.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
He doesn't. The lady doesn't go through. Like she's scared of the fucking light.
It's like a wall. Like they can't go through.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
It's
maybe
like
the energy.
vampires.
The
It
energy
might just
is
be an
like,
abundance of caution.
It's digital crucifix on that fucking. So Picard's like, hey, why don't we all go into a room and have a therapy session and all just yell out our problems, and then call Wesley to come in here and yell too, and then everyone's there and they're basically just airing out their shit, right? They're airing out their shit and they bring in Worf. They're like, Worf will calm us down. And Wesley comes in and they're like, all right, Wesley, what's up, dude? And he's like, yeah.
This scene is so hilarious.
And what the fuck is up with that scene, dude? He starts talking about how he hated fucking Picard. And this is great because I didn't know this. So Picard's the one who went to tell Wesley that his dad had died. And he's like, I fucking hated Picard. He's a piece of shit. He came and told us and I fucking hated him. Wanted to kill him. But I don't know. Not one bit. And you think back at all the times he tried to take down the ship and you're like, oh, he still has fucking resent for, like, I don't know, dude. I think he still hates Picard deep down.
I just think it's wild that Wesley goes from not wanting to talk about his feelings to spewing them out in front of a bunch of people in a room. Yeah. I was angry. I'm sad and angry. I'll tell you how I feel in front of everybody.
I'll give you a piece of my mind.
Yeah.
He's just yelling at the captain. I'm not angry, Captain, but I used to be. But I'm yelling now.
You think he found like that alien lady like very comforting, that he's like, this is a safe space because she'll take off, she'll suck up our memories and we won't have to think about this moment ever again.
Yeah, and by the way, like I said before, like that alien just literally sits through the whole session.
I'm desperately searching for shots of her just standing in the background.
No, there was.
They cut to her in medium close up a few times, but I don't know if she's like literally in the background of too many.
I really hope I can find some.
She's just sitting like, oh.
She's probably like, y'all are fucked up. I don't want to get involved.
Yeah. And so Wesley spills his guts. And first he doesn't want to, like you said, and then he spills all his guts in front of everybody. First of all, he didn't want to talk to one kid. He didn't want to go talk to one kid alone and tell him like, hey, dude, it's going to be all right, dude. You're going to hate the captain for a while or Worf for a bit, but then you're going to love him and you're going to wish that, that he takes you under his wing or something. But no, then he comes in and tells everybody his feelings. And then Worf, he's like, oh, you and I must be brothers. Let's join forces and be brothers in rage. Do this thing with me. And then the alien's like, all right, my work here is done. Just leaves.
Just walks away.
Just walks away.
Yeah,
and then
that's really odd. Like, it doesn't really... I don't really understand it, but I'm not sure we're meant to.
I feel like, yeah, maybe it's not meant to. I kind of wish there was like just one line of like, it goes like, oh, I understand now, and it leaves or something.
It just says, you guys are fucked up, and then
it could literally just be, this is too much for me. I know what type of boy he's going to grow up to be, and I can't handle that emotionally. So
I can't handle this right now, so I'm going to leave.
And then one of the last scenes is this kid with Worf, and they're like just starting fires basically in Worf's quarters, and they have these shitty ass candles. The computer can make beautiful candles, dude, of any shapes and sizes.
Oh, true.
But they pick the shittiest looking candles.
No, Klingon candles are traditionally shitty.
They look
he went to the replicator and said, give me shitty Klingon candles.
Yeah. And they look kind of veiny. Like they don't look right, dude. They don't look right. These candles look gross. And then basically Worf's like, oh, you are my child now, Klingon. He didn't say that, but it feels that way. Do we ever see this kid again?
Oh, yeah, I forget. Do we? No. I don't think we do, right? We don't see him again.
No, he never shows up again.
What about in other shows? He didn't show up in other shows and goes, I am the son of Worf.
No.
Worf just stitched his ass.
He's like, all right, so we've grieved for your mom.
Which actually is kind of like on brand for Worf. He does. Yeah. He do be abandoning children at least.
We'll
once or
see.
Twice.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
There are things we'll see where he's bad at commitment. We'll see.
Well, he wanted to marry that lady Klingon, and she didn't want to.
Yeah.
That's true, but that's like a commitment.
Smash.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a commitment that's based on like him feeling like, I don't know, like Klingon guilt or something. I don't know.
I guess so.
So yeah, I don't know.
Is that like Catholic guilt?
Yeah,
exactly.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
But
Klingon guilt.
Did anybody just think like this? It's weird that this episode just ended and no one said like, "Hey, what the fuck were those aliens, dude?" Like,
sometimes I think with the episodes, like you got some hits and you got some misses, and sometimes they're like, I think we just gotta wrap this one up and move on to the next episode.
yeah, basically.
Like they just don't have time. Like they're literally doing 26 of these.
They're like, we're done.
Which, by the way, you're gonna learn. I think this is the season 3. Has arguably, I think it's voted has the worst season finale of any Star Trek episode.
Oh, it can't be worse than the last
that was last season.
Two was last season.
Is that the one with
the clip show?
With Riker?
Yeah,
yes.
The needles.
Yeah,
that was last season,
because apparently I think like you said, they spent so much money on other episodes that they had no money left to do this episode.
That was last season.
That was last season.
They literally ran out of money and were like, "Okay, you owe us another episode." CBS
Morgan, you scared me. You scared me because I was like, there can't be anything worse than the last finale.
Because we're on season 3. Let me just see what the last episode of season 3 is.
You'll just see the title and you'll immediately go, "Oh, that's not it." Yeah, that's.
I was like, you cannot get worse than that episode. You just can't.
The season 2 finale was so nutty because Riker was literally dying on a table, and instead of hanging out with him and being like, "All right, my brother, I'm gonna be with you until your last breath, dude. You've been by my side this whole time. I will be by your side on your time when you expire." No, he's like, "All right, Pulaski, call me if anything changes. See you later."
Oh, he doesn't even say that. He just like Riker says something to him, and he doesn't respond and just turns and walks away.
Yeah,
that's how Picard.
He like kind of gives him like a hearty like, "Yeah, you gotta figure it out, man." Like gives him like a nod. It's like nice job.
Let me know if you pull out of this one. Goodbye.
Way to not resent that thing that killed you.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I can explain for why the pacing of the episode might be this way. So this episode is actually kind of similar.
Oh wow! Okay.
Oh yeah.
That is,
you just found it, right? Yeah.
I just found out what the ending of season 3 is.
I thought this was season 4, season 5, but this is like way better.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Amazing. Good for you guys.
Thank God.
But this episode was actually similar pre-production to Measure of a Man in the fact that the writer of the episode was Ronald D. Moore, and he kind of knew a friend of a friend. I think his wife actually knew someone on TNG, and he just wrote a spec script. They liked it. So they actually bought the spec script, not just hiring him as a writer, but also. Is
this his first writing credit on the show?
Yes, this is the first time he ended up on Star Trek, and then Ronald D. Moore actually goes on to become like a big Trek writer in general. He goes on to Voyager, DS9,
and eventually, he's the guy who rebooted Battlestar Galactica.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Wow.
I forgot.
Which is a show that I watched before TNG.
Me too.
That show I watched religiously.
I always thought that show. Really? The only thing I always thought was just like how they had old tech and new tech in that, and like the ships had phones on them.
Yeah.
So you'd be like,
what I always thought was funny. It's like I love how the paper was like technically octagonal. Like they had to cut off the corners. For fucking why? Why would you need to do that?
It's space paper. It's the same reason why menus in the future are clear.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
Difficult to read. He came in.
Well, people still say frack all the time, right?
Yeah,
that never died.
Yeah, he came in. Melinda Snodgrass and I think a new executive producer, Michael Pillar, came in and rewrote it like crazy. But it was similar to Measure of a Man. It became a gigantic episode. So they shot a bunch of stuff and left a bunch of stuff on the editing floor.
No,
and apparently,
maybe they explain what the fuck is going on with the aliens then.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't think a full version of it exists. I think what happened is someone found the VHS, just like with Measure of a Man.
Like The Ring?
But with Measure of a Man, they found it fast enough to be able to be like, okay, let's recreate it from the original film stock and then, make an extended edition on the Blu-rays. For this one, it was too late. They actually brought it over to the Blu-ray people as they were doing it. And they're like, dude, we're about to print. We can't do this. So that actually got left on the cutting room floor. Apparently someone put up a lot of the scenes on YouTube if anyone's interested, but
really?
I don't know how to put them together.
Pornhub.
Yes.
So yeah, that's apparently the reason why the pacing is on and off, especially but the end just kind of stops because
yeah, they ran out of time.
Yeah, I think that's the explanation for it.
I like the themes of it. I like the themes, like it's a big theme, but like it just didn't pay off for me. Like there's a lot of episodes that have shittier themes, but like I'm like, the episode's better because it worked out. What did you think, Morgan?
I don't know. I do like when they explore themes like this. I mean, again, like for me, I was like, oh shit, this is heavy. Like I lost a dad. Like I'm like this. Like I get emotional thinking about it, and this was like, I don't know. I thought it was cool. You know, it's a definitely like for me. I think it's a good change of pace sometimes.
Definitely.
What would you rate it out of 10? How many stars?
I mean, damn, like how many starships? I don't know, when I'm thinking about my favorite episode compared to this episode, I mean, this is probably like a 6 or a 5.
Okay.
Fair. Like middle of the road. It's like in the middle. It's not like in bad or it's not great, but it's like
no. Is your favorite episode in future seasons or past seasons?
Future seasons.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. And would you guys agree with me who have seen it?
Actually, I think at this point, Marvin is the only one who has seen as much of TNG as you have.
My favorite episode's Measure of a Man.
Oh, is that one happened already?
Yeah, that was the one where there was they were trying to determine if Data is a human or like sentient, and
yes.
Yeah,
it's funny. They basically there's in season 6 or season 5 because after I watched the whole series, every once in a while I just put on any random episode while I'm doing laundry or cooking. I just put whatever on. You know, it's kind of like my easy listening kind of show.
It's like your friends.
Yeah, and so but then again, there's some episodes that like I'm too nervous to watch again, like that stress me out, that are too intense. Like there's an episode in season 5 called The Inner Light, which you will see that's gonna like fuck you up. There's an episode about gender that do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't I'm not going to give it away. That's huge exploration of theme, and like I feel like way ahead of its time.
Very interesting.
There's what are the other? Oh, and then there was an episode kind of like Measure of a Man where like they come across these like robots. Remember like the scientist makes some, you know what I'm talking about? And Data's like, I can't let you like get rid of these.
Oh yes, I remember that one.
So that's kind of like familiar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this one doesn't stand as well as some of the other ones do.
Yeah, I really like. I honestly really liked a lot of the theming, and honestly, some of the scenes I think are quite good. I think like given like this is a show where even still by third season, like it was still tumultuous. Like like the writing team was still getting a lot of pressure from Gene Roddenberry to like write the way he wants to write it, and like it was difficult to get something on paper and to be able to shoot it to begin with. So I'm glad something that's a nice change of pace from the way rest of TNG can sometimes be showed up, but it does have like weird issues here and there. I think I'd give it like an 8 out of 10 just because like
wow,
I think some of the I like
what do you give a 10 out of 10?
Oh, Measure of a Man. Yeah, I give it Measure of a Man.
We get it. You like Measure of a Man. For God's sake.
Jeez, Martin.
Well, we got to get through more seasons.
But yeah, I mean, I like. I mean, it's not like I think it's definitely very flawed. I just think that there's enough about it that I'm like, I would watch it again. It's not one of those. I'm not gonna. I don't know if I would rewatch like The Survivors. I have no desire to rewatch The Survivors again, so it's one of those things. That's all.
There's some fun episodes. I'm excited for you guys to go through this whole journey.
Let's see. I would probably rate it a 6 out of 10. The shining moment being Patches, the cat.
Sarah likes cats.
Yes. I love cats. And this cat was very, very cute. I have 3.
Yeah, we have 3 cats. Yes.
I have 3 cats. And
you and Sarah is your partner, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you guys have 3 cats? And by partner you mean like you're in a relationship, right?
Yes.
Okay, you're just saying it like in a progressive way. You're just saying it like a gay couple. I get
we are partners. Yes. And we have 3 cats, so we're big cat people. And this cat was super, super fucking cute. But I do like that it explored themes of like grief.
Sarah, are you just in a different room?
Yeah.
It helps with the mixing
Yeah.
No, I know. I just was like, oh, okay.
I'm behind that door.
She's in the closet.
Bedroom.
She's in the closet.
Send me a private chat if you're okay.
I'm in the closet. Yeah. But yeah, I think this was a pretty good episode. But yeah, it did lack a lot of the like logistical explanations around.
Yeah, you shouldn't be going through an episode going, wait, why did that happen, right? Like you should kind of not worry about that.
And honestly, it was kind of creepy. It was really creepy to me.
It was sus. Yeah, just come with me. Come with me to the planet.
Yeah,
like,
come with me.
Bitch.
It's actually a little questionable, like how easily the kid
he's
entertains this fantasy.
Yeah, he didn't get the white van speech. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, if you see a stranger, like they don't have that in space. Like, hey, if you see an entity an entity randomly appear in your quarters, maybe be like careful. You know?
Yeah,
just
apparently an education with the Federation will teach you all about death, but no stranger danger.
Yeah, Jesus.
So Morgan 6, Sarah 6, Dan and Ricardo. What'd you guys say?
I'm going to give it a 5. It's just the middle of the road. It's not bad, but it's not good. It's right down the middle.
You don't want to give it a 6 or 7 just because the theme is so intense, or no?
No.
All
right. 6 or 7 because the theme is so intense. That's me.
Yeah.
Really. But I share many of the sentiments that Marvin already aired, where it's like individual scenes play pretty well to me. But overall, when you try to take it as a whole, it's like you just end up questioning everything that you see. It's like, what the fuck? Why? But I don't know why, but this line of Picard stuck out to me. Something that I just want to highlight for a second. He said, like, what you're offering him is a memory, something to cherish, not to live in. And I'm like, yeah, that hits hard. I like that one. That's true. Good line.
They're starting to write him more and more really awesome lines, and that's just gonna snowball as the series goes on.
They say some prolific shit.
But wait, would you? That's a good question. Would you guys take that? I mean, some people would want to live in a memory. I don't know.
It's called drugs.
Exactly.
It's called the holodeck.
Yeah, he could have the same experience in the holodeck.
But look, we can make this for you in the holodeck. All right, it's not a big deal.
Okay, I'm willing to spend a life in fiction, but it needs to be cool new fiction, not just the same damn room with the same damn cat.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, give me something cool, and then I'll buy in.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. We watched the bonding. Those are
now question, is this your go-to show before we do the plugs? Is this your go-to show like if you're like you said when you're cooking or doing like laundry and shit? Is this your go-to show or what's your go-to show?
Well, here's the deal. Like right now my go-to show is Great British Bake Off just because I never watched it and I'm getting caught up, but I will say that Star Trek is like my when I have no other show to watch, it is my go-to show to like just put on. Sometimes I put the movies on. Sometimes I put it on in the background. It's just like it's honestly just cool. It's cool to have. I think it's a cool thing to put on at a bar. Honestly, if you put it on with no sound, it's kind of a vibey kind of thing to put on.
That's true. Yeah, you know, absolutely.
Yeah. I was in San Francisco doing a show and it was on at a bar, and I was like, oh, this is dope.
That's awesome, especially if it's a scene at Tenford or something.
Yeah,
cool shit going on.
I try to talk in terms of like manifesting, and I know this is so woo and lame, but like I think it does work. Anyway, when I have a bigger place where I have like a basement or something, I will turn one of the rooms like into a Star Trek like set part of one of the sets.
I thought you would say holodeck, and it was like it's your sex dungeon.
It's gonna happen.
I will turn it, maybe like turn something into like 10 forward. That would actually be really cool. I'm sure somebody's already done that.
Yeah,
because 10 forward's lighting is really cool. It's all like low lit, so like
super vibey, or either that or obviously like the bridge would be like the main thing.
Yeah,
you know,
be sick.
But yeah, it is. I do, and it's only something I recently got into. Like if you like in the last 4 or 5 years, you know, and I sometimes I feel like a poser because like I've.
So it's not something you grew up with, like a lot of people.
Not all.
You know,
that's cool.
A lot of people I talk to, it's like I watched this with my parents growing up, or
no, I just like sci-fi, you know. And it was like 4 years ago. I watched the first TNG, and then I was like, "This is dope." Then I watched another episode, and I just was like, I watched every episode, and then I watched TNG, then I watched Voyager, and then I watched Deep Space Nine. I watched them in the wrong order. Then I watched Enterprise. Okay. Then I watched Discovery and Picard and Lower Decks and I've gone through all of them at least once.
Yeah, pretty much all of it except Prodigy and TOS, it seems, that you've seen at this point.
Oh, yeah, Prodigy, that's the new one, right?
Yeah, the new animated one, yeah. I haven't seen any of that either.
You know, you want to hear something cool? My buddy, who's a good friend of mine, he is the agent for Kate Mulgrew.
Oh,
and basically he was just in London because he goes to all the Comic-Cons with her.
Fun. That's fun. Yeah.
I guess, yeah. So basically he does all those. By the way, I just want to throw this out there. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Deep Space Nine, it might actually be a better series than Next Generation. And I know this is controversial.
Your opinion is not controversial for a lot of people.
Because I watched it and you might, if Ricardo and Sarah get really into Star Trek like I did, when I watched Deep Space Nine, I was like, this is doing so many more groundbreaking things than like just as a TV show in general. I want to point that out there.
That was actually like part of their writer room mandate. Was they're like, listen, let's do different stuff and try to make it interesting. You know,
and was that one that was a little more serialized as well?
Yes.
Yeah, more serialized, and also it's like every episode for the most part takes place on the space station. Mm-hmm. It's not like it goes anywhere. There's like not new scenarios. You know.
So are there more like because like this TNG doesn't really deal with like interpersonal conflict among each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
Deep Space Nine really does that.
Like Riker doesn't have a problem with Picard, you know.
Yeah.
Like I want to see people like throw down. I want to see Worf have a problem.
That's gonna happen a bunch.
Have a problem with. You know, I want to see some good coworker. Madness.
Yeah. In TNG, they happen as events, but in DS9, it's part of the relationship. Like it's actually how they view each other, depending on which parts of the station and what alliances you're working with, etc.
I think the second lesbian kiss on TV might have been the first.
I think it's the first. It's the very first.
It happened. It happened before Ellen.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I think it's actually went down as the first gay kiss. And
I'll tell you what. First of all, I will say the ladies are attractive, but also it doesn't feel like you're watching like girls kissing.
Yeah.
There's
it's not at all. Yeah.
You know, they really like everything was really tastefully done.
That's like hard for me to imagine on this, like this happening in this series.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
This is like early 90s. They also portray like a black family. It's like the first time there's like a black lead, like a father and a son, and there's like lots of lead black performers that are carrying a show, which never happened before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So pretty huge.
Deep Space Nine is like timeline wise, not air date, but is it after or before?
So Deep Space Nine is gonna it picks up right after where episode 1 of season 4 ends. Basically,
they connect.
They connect a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They overlap slightly.
Those three main shows all overlap: TNG, DS9, Voyager. Voyager's overlap isn't as big a deal because the whole point of Voyager is that they're in a different quadrant entirely. No. So, but there are
in Voyager, do they go those fuck ups on the Enterprise are always fucking shit up, dude?
No, in Voyager, they're like, oh god, we fucked up, and we're
really. They're not.
Voyager's cool, but Voyager's kind of like Monster of the Week kind of show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
They went back to full episodic sort of style. Yeah.
It was like.
Okay. So. All right.
Also, the captain's a war criminal, so that doesn't help.
Well. So you mean Wesley? Wesley's the captain now?
Yeah, let's just do our last stuff real quick. We do have an email this week, just real quick. If you want to email us, that's contact@newbiestartrek.com. That's contact@newbiestartrek.com. And this one is from Brandon. So basically he says, hey, just wanted to say I've been loving the podcast. Rewatching episodes alongside the reviews for a show I haven't seen since I was in school has been really fun. Yeah. So there's a section where he talks about, this is one of those emails where he's like, how should we watch the episodes? Because we kind of have that figured out already. I'm just like, thank you for the suggestion, but we're not gonna. We already figured it out. And also Ricardo has mentioned that it's weird how Klingons use cloaking. I don't remember when, but I do believe they had a brief Romulan alliance where they acquired their cloaking tech. I don't know if that is a spoiler or just a throwaway line of exposition somewhere, but bottom line is they didn't create it; they obtained. So they stole it.
Wait, what's cloaking? What's cloaking?
Like the predator stuff happening on their ships.
Like cloaking is like they just go invisible.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah. Klingons can go invisible?
Well,
the ships can.
Yeah.
Oh,
which, by the way, seems like very
got it.
anti-Klingon. If you want to like die in battle,
that's not honorable at all.
It's not
dude.
honorable.
Yeah, I
at
brought
all.
that up on a previous episode. That was bothering
So
me.
wait, is it like only Klingon ships can go, or
Klingon and Romulan ships both have cloaking technology. So
okay, got
Why
it.
haven't the Federation? Why haven't they stolen the technology?
It feels like they should have access to it at this point.
Yeah, they
dude.
should. At
Steal
one
it,
point,
dude.
they kind of do, I feel like, and then they like don't have it. I don't know. I think they had like an alliance with some Romulan or something.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
So they refrain from using it due to copyright.
Listen, not everybody can have cloaking. Otherwise, where'd the tension be? Then it'd just be like 3 ships like hovering next to each other.
just hidden, and they're just like, where are you?
Usually, there would be an episode where they just ram into something out of nowhere. What the
Everybody
fuck
just
was
crashing
that?
into each other all in space. A bunch of space trash.
If you're going by what Gene Roddenberry was doing, basically the only reason they cloaked is because that was his version of submarines. So he was just like, they're just submarines.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that's why he's just like, he's not even thinking about why isn't everyone cloaking. He's just thinking, no, these are submarines.
Cloaking also sounds like a sex term. Have you slept with her? No, just cloaking.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? There actually is a sex term called soaking.
Yes,
Yeah.
and ballooning too.
Yeah, I don't have to get into it, but yeah.
Before we forget, where can people find you if they want to find you, Morgan?
At this point, you go to my Instagram or TikTok. I just tell, and I hate saying this, but you can just Google me and just go whatever platform it suits you.
That's
Morgan
true.
J.
That's how I looked up stuff about you. Just Google Morgan J.
Just Google me, whatever.
Yeah, you're way bigger than we are, so it's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You better fucking remember that. You understand? I made an appearance on this no good for nothing podcast. You understand me? No, just Google me. I have a comedy special on YouTube. It's got over like 500,000 views.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
It's about an hour long.
Yeah.
And I'll probably be filming my next special this coming year, and then I'll put that out.
Sick.
Awesome.
Nice. Sounds awesome. Well,
yeah, y'all, and just hit me up, and then you should come to a show sometime. I'm past at the Improv in Hollywood, so I do shows. I literally did a show there on Saturday with Nick Swartzen and Harlan Williams, and I was like, so bizarre because I remember watching these people on TV, and I'm like,
Yeah. Oh my god, that's awesome.
Dang.
shows with them. Full circle, guys.
Super cool.
Yeah, if you keep track, I mean, if you don't have to listen to it. If you download the stupid thing on your phone, you'll know, because we post them a week after we record. If we're getting to an episode that you like, let us know and just come back.
Are you sure? That'd be cool.
Oh, yeah.
man.
Oh,
I'd
yeah,
do it.
please.
Totally, yeah.
Legitimately, whenever you want to come back, just let us know. Because honestly, like, just to be frank, I was.
This is my podcast now.
This is my podcast. Do you understand?
Look,
This is
I'm just gonna say that if we don't see a corresponding spike in our numbers, we're coming for you.
yeah.
No, I'm hoping you guys are going to raise my profile. You kidding me?
Well,
I appreciate you
legitimately, like, you are our first guest who we don't know personally. Like,
Oh, nice.
And I was a little nervous, but like you were fucking great, man.
Oh,
Only
yeah,
nervous
man.
because we had never met you, so we never
in
sat
person.
down
Yeah,
in person. So it was like,
Probably like, who the fuck is this guy? He's going to show up
yeah,
here.
dude.
I
Also,
will admit that when I first heard your name, I was like, "Who's that guy?"
No, and listen, I only a few people know. Like anytime I go somewhere else and people see I have a blue check mark, they're like, "Oh my god, you're famous." I'm like, not at all. Not at all. The only thing the blue check mark does and the follower counts do is it helps you when you want to reach out to somebody more famous than you.
That is absolutely true. Or without knowing anything about it myself, that sounds absolutely true.
Yeah, because if you see that in your DM, like if you for example, if you wanted to get, let's say like what's his name from Voyager?
Kissinger.
The guy who plays Kim, Henry Kim.
Harry Kim.
Yeah. So you want to get him, like you could probably, if you had a blue check mark, DM him and be like, "Yo, you want to do this podcast?" And there's a good chance he would do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Speaking of blue check marks, you think like the handle like George Washington is taken, or like Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah.
And do they have a check mark?
I think they need to be verified to be George Washington,
You think so?
or some such in order to acquire that check mark.
It's funny, like I just saw The Office made an account, like the TV show The Office.
Really?
Well, I guess they saw other people were just posting clips of their show, and they were like, "Well, fuck, we should do that."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
They should get on that now.
Oh yeah, they just started because I looked at their profile and they didn't have as many followers as they thought they would. You know,
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how new how new is the account?
I mean, they have 2.2 million followers, but for something that was as prolific as The Office and as Gen Z and millennials kind of like love, you just would think that they'd have more. You know,
they're all just watching them on tenor gifs.
Yeah. Look. How do you feel about The Office?
You know, I stopped watching through like after season 4 or 5. They kind of jumped the shark because like the first 3 seasons, you know, I watched the original one in like the Ricky Gervais version.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that was really realistic. And the thing that, you know, British television does really well is they'll do like 2 or 3 seasons of a show and then be like, the show's over.
Yep.
We don't want to do anymore.
I love that. I love that. That's
right.
great.
And they're like, we'll just make another good show.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas this kind of like after season 4 or 5, I forget, the show just started getting really cartoonish and ridiculous. Yep. You know, like the stakes are really high and normal for the first 3 seasons.
Well, you know? when like the European one, once Pam and Jim got together, they're like, we're done, because that was the arc of the show. And here they're like, it peaked when they got together, and then they're like, let's keep going. 10 more seasons.
Yeah, to the point where like Steve Carell left. He was like,
this
is
would
too
think
long
that would
for
end
me.
the show, but they were like, no, we can do it. We can get a few more seasons.
Yeah, no, I try to watch one show at a time. I didn't finish that one, so right now I'm just watching British Bake Off. I'm watching. I tried to watch the show Invasion on Apple TV Plus about like an alien invasion, but it was not good. It's just like, I don't know. I want to see if you're gonna do a show called Invasion. Like, let me just see some fucking aliens showing up, invading shit.
Where's the invasion?
Show them fucking, dude.
Where's the invading?
Can I tell you something? I have a new bit that's killed on stage. It's a song called "Sexy Aliens," and it basically just explores. I have a whole slideshow of aliens, like. Basically, it's a song about aliens, like, but they travel from planet to planet wanting to fuck, but not invade. Like, they just want to fuck new planets, like new species.
Like,
so
like
Starfleet.
Exactly. I mean, basically, because that's where I thought. I was like, you know, I always think like, what, you know, would you fuck an alien? Because essentially, it's like a whole other species, and then it wraps up where we do a smash or pass alien edition. So I do like all the different. I do all the different.
That's pretty good.
I do like which ones we have? We have Predator. And then they all have different jokes, like, you know, Predator, like what that mouth do. You know, Superman, his only kryptonite is that ass. You know, Jabba the Hutt. For those of you into the Slave King, I'm running through it kind of quickly, but you know, E.T. What that finger do though? Does he touch that clit? He touch that clit or that prostate, and you see God. Like what happens? You know, the Monstars from Space Jam. That one got me. And then I end it with a photo of Mark Zuckerberg.
Well,
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
So that's been going really well. You guys just have to come to a show sometime. I think you're
definitely.
Yeah, sounds great. And let's just do our plugs, which is just we have another podcast, the Fugitive Frames Film Podcast, and we're gonna. I think Ricardo and I might do a Spider-Man No Way Home talk.
Yeah,
we'll discuss it.
Yeah, it's gonna be you, me, Ryan, and Marcel, I think.
Oh, a lot of us. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. So we'll figure out when to do that.
I need to watch that sometime.
Yeah.
And also we're definitely do the Matrix Resurrections. We all have tickets to see it.
Before we go, hey, we're everything fugitive. Fugitive films, fugitive games. The movie The Fugitive, we produced.
And the movie The Producers, we produced that too.
Yeah, so we have that's the Fugitive Frames Film Podcast, and then we also have our YouTube channel, Fugitive Games. So if you want to just watch us doing LPs of games, we should really get back to it. It's been a little bit, but you can see all our stuff there. All that shit you can just find it at fugitiveframes.com. So next week we're going to watch Booby Trap. Which is remember when we said
my favorite kind of trap?
Ricardo's gonna be so disappointed.
Yeah, dude.
Well, remember when we said Jordy's kind of weird?
Oh boy.
Okay. This is the episode. So
I don't know what this means. I'm a little worried.
He's got a boob fetish.
It's been a while since I've seen it, so I hesitate to assert right now that this is how I really become like Jordy.
Oh my god,
dude! Is it a weird fetish?
No. Let's not take that as fact yet. I need to watch it again and reevaluate.
Morgan, thank you so much for joining us.
No. Thank you for letting me crash your podcast.
No. Thank you.
It's been great having you.
No,
Man.
like legitimately, it's been fantastic.
Yeah. It's fun.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you for being on the show.
This was an absolute delight, and I'll see you guys for another episode sometime.
Thank you. Love to have you back. Thank you so much.
See you around, man.
See y'all. Bye.
All right, take care.